Hi everyone, welcome to the muster drill. I'm Scott, and there's one damn ship that's making news. Hi everyone, welcome back. So, as we approach the last month of 2021, I'm happy to say that I think the restart is, off to a good start. I think that it's really a lot of things are happening faster than I would have expected them to. All kinds of stuff happening every day. There's more and more ships coming, back into service, more ships at the port. I think Port Canaveral saw its full complement of ships in a couple of weeks ago. It had, every single cruise line sailing out of there now that had been sailing out prior to the pandemic. So one cruise line that we don't hear a lot about, Holland America, well, one of their damn ships is making headlines, making news as being the first ship to do something in two different places. So it turns out the new Staten Dam was the first ship to call on a less popular port on the island of Jamaica, which is Port Royal, which is I think Kingston, Jamaica. So the Staten Dam was the first ship to come there. It was definitely happy welcome news from the locals in Kingston. Again, they don't see a lot of cruise ships, and they hadn't obviously seen any in the during the pandemic, and I think more than 20 months. So they were definitely happy to see a ship finally return there. The locals are hoping that now that the pandemic is, that the cruising is getting started again, that hopefully they'll be able to attract more ships. I would love to go to that port. I haven't been to Jamaica very much. So, I've been to, I think the last port I was in Jamaica was Falmouth. I think it was on a Royal Caribbean ship. I can't remember which one, the Allure maybe. But in any event, so the Staten Dam was the first ship to call on Port Royal in 20 months. So happy news there for that. And the day that I thought was never going to come, at least not for a little bit longer, turns out the island of Grand Cayman has finally taken its head out of where and decided that they are going to open up to cruise ships a little ahead of schedule. Yay! And turns out the Holland America's new Staten Dam is gonna be the first ship to call there on Grand Cayman on December 28th. So that's a little bit ahead of schedule. Super welcome news. Really happy to hear about that. Again, Grand Cayman, not an island I've been to a lot. It's a great island though. I really wish they would build a dock there so that you don't have to tender. But in any event, and I think Holland America actually uses their lifeboats to tender, so that'll be interesting too. So in any event, so the Staten Dam is going to be the first ship to call on Grand Cayman. Again, I really love Grand Cayman. I haven't been there a whole lot. The first time I went there, I went to the turtle farm and stuff. It was amazing to hold those tiny little turtles like that, are only a couple of days old in your hands. And then I also went to Stingray City. A lot of people love Stingray City. There was 5 or 6 individual excursions that had showed up there while I was there. I don't know if it was just me or not. I just didn't love it. I think I was just more nervous. They went to a great lengths to explain to you that you really were not in any danger, that the stingrays were just not going to roll up on you and sting you. I talked about Steve Irwin, which I thought was kind of in bad taste, but in any event, yeah, I just didn't like it. I didn't love it. I did touch a couple of stingrays when they swam near me. But I was really looking forward to getting back on the boat and getting out of there and getting back to the island. So, but everybody else enjoyed it. It's definitely something I would recommend that you do, especially if you're not as freaked out by the stingrays as I am. But in any event, great news. Grand Cayman open early, and the Holland America New Staten Dam is going to be the first ship to call there. So yeah, moving on, another island that's going to be opening up to cruise ships very shortly is the island of Grand Turk. Again, an island I haven't been to many times. I think Grand Turk is really kind of cool though. What I think fascinated me the most about Grand Turk when I first got there was, and this would be for all the space buffs like me, Grand Turk was actually a location for one of the Gemini capsules. I guess it was not able to, because of weather conditions, it was not able to come down where it was originally supposed to. Obviously, that's a very long time ago, so some people won't remember that. But in any event, so one of the Gemini capsules actually landed off the coast of Grand Turk, and the U.S. Navy had to go down there and pick them up. It's not terribly far from the United States, but in any event, so I think that was really cool. They got this like little kind of monument there to it and stuff, which I was really in awe about. I thought it was really awesome. I was not aware of it before we went there. I can't remember what ship we went there on. But in any event, yeah, so it was first time I was in Grand Cayman, and then, Grand Cayman is a great island. It's a beach day. The last time I was in Grand Cayman was 2018. I was there on the Carnival Breeze, and I was kind of disappointed. I don't remember that I guess, had to pay for the beach chairs and stuff like that the first time we were there. But in any event, turns out we had to pay for beach chairs and stuff when we were there. The locals, I guess, were kind of standing around, and there was only so many beach chairs there that were free, and had to get off the ship like immediately and run out there and grab one of them. But in any event, we had a great time. It was the first time I two kids in college, so it was the first time they were there on the island there as well, and they weren't 21 at the time, but they were older than 18, so they thought that was great that they could go and get a beer at Margaritaville or whatever, and party with all the adults and stuff. I'm glad I was there for it, but in any event, so Grand Turk is opening up on December 7th. I believe the Mardi Gras is going to be the first ship to call there, so that's also really great news. So before I go any further with all of that kind of stuff, I wanted to also mention that that Grand Turk and Grand Cayman are joining the rest of the growing list of islands that are going to be requiring cruise passengers be fully vaccinated. Now, I know this is obviously still a very hot topic, and people are still very upset. Some people are upset about this. Some people think it's great news, and and I've asked the question before, what do you think? I'm going to ask it again. Tell me what you think about yet more islands requiring people. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing that these islands are requiring people to be vaccinated? Leave a comment below and, let me know how you feel about it. We can talk about it. So Grand Turk and Grand Cayman are going to be joining the growing list of islands that are going to require these, everybody be fully vaccinated. That's going to now include kids 5 to 11 years old, since that vaccination is open to them now. I think the Pfizer vaccine is open to 5 to 11-year-olds, so that's going to include them as well. And, I think this is just our new reality. I realize it's going to upset some, veteran cruisers that really are looking forward to getting back. I've definitely seen plenty of comments where people have said, you know what, I'm just not going to cruise until all of that stuff is done. And I definitely sympathize with those people. I know what you mean. You have a right to your position on this whole subject, whether whether I agree with you or anybody else agrees with you. It is your right to do for you. It's unfortunate that, I've seen some comments where people are like, oh, I think I'm going to sue the cruise line about this and stuff like that and everything. Well, listen, I realize as Americans, we have a lot of rights, and we have a lot of things that, maybe we take for granted and we don't really think too much about. but let me tell you, cruising is not one of them. You know, there's nothing in our Constitution or in any other, you know, citizen document that says we have a right to cruise. So, again, I do sympathize with these people. I do, you know, I don't look down on them the way a lot of people do. I don't look down on the, you know, the anti-vaxxers or the, you know, the people who just don't want to get the vaccine at this point. I don't look down on them like a lot of other people do. But at the same time, you know, I don't understand some of these comments where people say, you know, it's time to sue the cruise lines and stuff, and you know, I've seen some people, you know, even again try to drag politics into it, and anyway, so I'm not going to really get into all that, but this is our new reality. This is what we're going to have to do if we want to get back to doing this thing that we love, which is cruising, you know. And if we don't, there's plenty of other options. As a travel agent, I'm sending people on vacation all the time. I'm sending people on, you know, on vacations on our cruises. You know, I do all-inclusive, you know, I specialize in cruising, but I also do a lot of all-inclusive travel as well. I'm sending a lot of people to all-inclusive resorts, and they do not need to be vaccinated in order to do that. There's just a few more hoops. And on November 18th, the CDC, or I think the CDC had changed some of the guidelines for returning to the United States by air for people who aren't vaccinated. And it used to be, you know, 3 days, and a lot of the resorts are accommodating these people by they're partnering with some local medical firm or whatever to do testing on site, or, you know, they'll shuttle you to the off-site place or whatever, but the resorts are paying for it. That's, you know, included in your stay or whatever, and you're handling all that, the scheduling of it and stuff. So, you know, and it was 3 days to return, and now it's 1 day for the unvaccinated, and the resorts, of course, are going to have to scramble. And I can definitely see where there could possibly be some issues with that. But, you know, so one resort in particular, Rue, however you want to say it, I've spoken with them. They're definitely going to be ready for those 1 day. Of course, they tell me that they're going to be ready for those 1 day test requirements for returning to the U.S. So we'll see how all that works out. But in any event, yeah, so this is our new reality. I mean, more and more of these islands are going to require people to be fully vaccinated so that they can protect their, you know, their local populations. And I mean, and in my opinion, it's the right thing to do, and, you know, it's what we should all be doing. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. And then don't forget to click the subscribe button. It won't cost you anything. You click it once and you're done. And it'll really help this growing channel out a lot. Thank you very much to those who have subscribed in the last couple of weeks. We truly appreciate your support. And then don't forget to hit this notification bell so that you know every time we upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.